She left the man who would have died for her, not because he wasn't enough, but because she wanted something he could never be.
And that's the truth no one tells you about love. Effort doesn't guarantee forever. Loyalty doesn't guarantee love.
And sometimes the man who gives everything still loses everything. This is his story.
He did everything right, or at least he thought he did. He showed up.
Every single time, when she called at 2 a.m. broken and crying, he answered.
When she needed someone to believe in her, he was there. When the world turned its back on her,
he stood by her side. He learned her favorite songs, memorized the way she took her coffee,
noticed when her smile didn't reach her eyes. He wasn't perfect, but he was present.
And he thought that was enough. He thought love was built on consistency, on showing up,
on being the man who never walked away. But somewhere along the way, she did.
Not all at once. Not loudly. She left in pieces.
A little less eye contact. A little less warmth in her voice. A little less effort in her texts.
And he felt it. Every single shift. Every moment she pulled away.
But he stayed. Because that's what loyal men do. They don't run at the first sign of distance.
They fight. They try harder. They believe love is something you choose.
Even when the other person is choosing to leave. Let me take you back to the beginning.
When her eyes lit up when she saw him. When she laughed at his terrible jokes. When she told him he was different.
You're not like the others, she said, and he believed her. Because he was different.
He wasn't playing games. He wasn't keeping options open. He wasn't half in.
He was all in, from day one. He introduced her to his family.
Talked about the future like it was a certainty. Made space for her in every corner of his life. And she seemed happy.
At least for a while. But here's what he didn't see. She wasn't looking for stability.
She was looking for a feeling. And feelings, they fade. The excitement of something new wore off.
The butterflies stopped. The mystery disappeared. And suddenly the man who was always there
became the man who was just there. Predictable, safe,
comfortable. And to her, comfortable felt like settling. He didn't know that.
He thought love matured. He thought it deepened. He thought the butterflies were supposed to turn into something steadier.
Something real. But she missed the chaos, the uncertainty,
the thrill of not knowing. And he couldn't give her that. Because he was certain.
He knew he wanted her. He knew he wasn't going anywhere. And that certainty became boring.
It started with small things. She stopped texting first. Stopped asking about his day.
Stopped making plans. He noticed, but he didn't say anything.
Because he didn't want to seem needy. Didn't want to seem insecure. So he tried harder.
He planned dates, surprised her with little things, gave her space when she seemed distant.
Gave her attention when she seemed lonely. He adjusted. He adapted.
He became a man trying to solve a problem. That wasn't really a problem. It was a decision.
She had already decided. She just hadn't told him yet. Then came the night everything broke.
He asked her what was wrong, and she said those words. The words that shatter a man who's been giving everything.
I just don't feel it anymore. Not, I'm upset. Not, we need to work on things.
Just, I don't feel it. Like love is a light switch. Like commitment is a mood.
He sat there, silent, trying to process.
Trying to understand how someone could stop feeling when he was still feeling everything. Did I do something wrong? He asked.
And she said no. Did I not do enough? And she said it wasn't about that.
Then what is it? He asked, desperate, searching for an answer that made sense.
And she couldn't give him one, because the truth was simple and cruel.
She just didn't want him anymore. Not because he failed, but because she changed.
Or maybe she never wanted him the way he wanted her. Maybe she loved the idea of him, the safety,
the comfort, the reliability, but not him.
Not the man behind all of that. And that realization hit him like a freight train. He wasn't losing her because he wasn't good enough.
He was losing her because being good wasn't enough. In the days after, he replayed everything, every conversation,
every moment, every time he thought they were fine. And he saw it.
The signs he ignored, the distance he justified, the excuses he accepted.
She's just stressed. She's just going through something. She'll come back.
But she never did, because she was already gone, long before she said the words.
And that's what breaks a good man. Not the ending, but the knowing.
That he was fighting alone, that he was holding on while she was letting go, that his love had an expiration date.
And he was the only one who didn't know. He started questioning everything. His worth.
His value. His ability to be loved. What's wrong with me? He asked himself.
Why wasn't I enough? And the worst part? There was no answer.
Because nothing was wrong with him. He just loved someone who didn't love him back. Not in the way he needed.
Not in the way he deserved. And that truth is brutal. Because at least if he had failed,
he could fix it. He could be better. But how do you fix not being wanted?
How do you become enough for someone who doesn't want you? You can't.
And that's the realization that destroys a man. He gave his best, and it still wasn't enough.
Not because his best wasn't good, but because she wasn't looking for good. She was looking for something else.
Something he couldn't be, and no amount of effort could change that. He learned the hardest lesson a man can learn.
Love is not a transaction. You can't earn it. You can't deserve it into existence.
You can do everything right and still lose. Because love isn't about right or wrong.
It's about fit. It's about timing. It's about two people choosing each other.
And she didn't choose him. Months passed, and slowly something shifted.
He stopped checking her social media, stopped wondering what she was doing, stopped hoping she'd realize what she lost.
Not because he stopped caring, but because he started caring about himself. He looked in the mirror one day,
and he saw a man who had been running on empty, a man who gave so much of himself away that he forgot to save any for himself.
And he made a decision. He would never do that again. Not because he became cold.
Not because he stopped believing in love, but because he realized something. The right person won't make you question your worth.
The right person won't make you feel like you're too much or not enough. The right person will see your effort and match it.
He stopped chasing closure. Stopped waiting for an apology that would never come. Stopped needing her to see what she lost.
Because his worth wasn't tied to her anymore. It never should have been. He started rebuilding,
piece by piece. Not the man he was before her, but a stronger version,
a wiser version, a version that knew his value and wouldn't settle for someone who didn't see it.
He didn't become bitter. He became selective. He didn't close his heart.
He just raised his standards because he learned that loving someone who doesn't love you back
isn't love. It's self-destruction. If you're watching this,
and you see yourself in his story, know this. You are not broken because someone didn't choose you.
You are not unworthy because your love wasn't returned. You are not too much. You are not enough.
You were just loving someone who couldn't love you the way you needed. And that's not your failure. That's incompatibility.
Stop blaming yourself for someone else's inability to see your value. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Stop giving everything to people who give you nothing back.
You deserve someone who stays, not because you're perfect, but because they see your imperfections.
And choose you anyway. You deserve someone who doesn't make you question if you're enough. Because to the right person,
You already are. But here's the truth. You have to believe that first.
you have to stop giving your power away to people who don't deserve it. You have to stop waiting for someone to see your worth and start seeing it yourself.
Because the moment you do, the moment you stop accepting less than you deserve, that's the moment everything changes.
Not because the right person suddenly appears, but because you stop attracting the wrong ones. He gave everything.
And she still left. But years later, he realized something. She didn't leave the man who would have died for her.
She left the man who was dying for her. And the moment he stopped dying for people who didn't care, he started living for himself.
He wasn't too much. He wasn't too little. He was just too much.
For someone who didn't want him. And that was never his problem to fix.